Okay, so a few days ago, I uploaded a message from the EMF Reader, and I told you that I was working on a few of them, but that one was the only one that I had gotten done. I have now finished the other two, so I am going to go on ahead and put those up right now. I think I'm going to put the two in this just one video. But if you haven't already, you should go back and listen to the one that I posted a couple days ago, because I think that all three of them are running congruent with each other. Okay, they cross, to me, what it seems to be is they're intertwining the scenario in certain ways that shows that it's linked. If you don't already know how to use the EMF reader, I know that when I first started doing it, I would listen to it spit out words and sit there and guess and guess and guess and guess what exactly it was trying to portray to me. And then, I don't know, one day I was using it and the thought popped up in my head just randomly to Google the definitions to the words that were coming out. And so you can screenshot them as they come. Some apps will save the word list for you, and that's always helpful, but it really just depends on what app you connect with best, and what app the spirits around you feel comfortable using. Some of the apps don't have that great of word lists for things to tap into to talk to you through. And then others have great word lists, and you'll have nonstop information coming.
What the fuck? Oh, shit.
Who?
You.
What do you mean?
What was Stephen talking about then?
What are you talking about?
He's talking on the phone and shit.
With who?
Never mind.
What are
You're
you?
being pretty aggressive, I thought.
So anyways, what I do if it doesn't save the word list is I just write the words down, and then when I get the definitions, I write them out just like this. So one definition after another to create the message. Some words have multiple versions behind them, and you're gonna have to go with the version of the definition that fits best with the prior word that you just got the definition to. And then from there, you'll have your message. Okay. So I'm gonna start with the second message I got. Again, the first one is already posted, so you can go back and look at that. Okay, so this message says intellectual capacity within a place or situation characterized by a specified attribute, like the place that grows red-skinned apples. So to me, that is saying that somebody is in a place that has something very specific about it, where, if need be, and you only brought up that specification, like Johnny Appleseed type thing, people would know where you are, right? Excuse me. It says constructing a personal sense of purpose, often centered on connection, contribution, and personal growth, while relationships, seen as a primary source of this, providing belonging, support, and shared experience, are a part of a large number of people or things typically formed or organized for particular purpose. Some find this pleasing or gratifying to hear or discover. So this I could take two ways. One way, when I first wrote this out and read this, my mind instantly went towards like a club or a organization or a group of people with a shared interest. Reading it now, I'm also getting the idea of like common living. So maybe like a house that has multiple residents in it that are not family, not friends, but they're all on the same property. The cognitive process of decoding written symbols to understand the meaning of text and connecting to existing knowledge to comprehend, you notice they start to act scared temporarily by seeming surprised or in a state of anxiety. So this is talking about somebody who their mind picks up on things before people have to speak on or need to speak on them. Symbols, right? Patterns, behavior, energy, things like that. And when people in this house that this is talking about realize that it's something you do, it creates anxiety, because then that means that what it is that they most likely are trying to keep hidden is going to be difficult to do. It says, witnessing a profound and painful transition towards intense personal transformation to spiritual rebirth. Seeing you having to focus on budgeting when you come from wealth and finances. So some people that are around the person that this message is for are they're getting happy at the struggle of this person going through the painful transformation on this spiritual journey, right? Because obviously you're on this journey. It's not something you've done before. You're going to have trial and error. You're going to have mistakes. You're going to have setbacks. So it's like you're living two lives, right? Trying to integrate your normal daily life with spiritual life. So it's very stressful, okay? But on top of that, they are getting happy to see this person struggle financially, okay? It says this person also notices that your value was not being appreciated and made you promise not to fall into old ways and to control your life and health. So this person that is in this setting, either another person that is in this setting or an outsider that has come and seen this setting who possibly knew this person prior or is similar to this person and can pick up on patterns, is aware of this person's worth, okay? And then they're seeing the dynamic of what's around them and how they're being treated, okay? So they're trying to let this person know, don't go back into your old ways and allow people to control you, and your health and your life become a bargaining tool. It comes at risk. It said you felt inside the driver had judged you, so you put up a wall that created a small argument as if you're representing your side in front of a judge and jury. So to me, that sounds like somebody could have been defending their situation, defending how they got there, why they were there. It says you shouldn't have to defend to another who walks with me, your Father, that you live a life centered on a personal journey and relationship with the Father God. So to me, this sounds like somebody has come in, they have seen an environment, they are noticing that somebody is on their spiritual journey, and they are critiquing this spiritual journey. Possibly could have made it seem as though the way that they were going about it was not correct, or maybe the information that they obtain is different from theirs, and so that person was wrong, leaving this person to have to go into defense mode. And this, to me, feels like this is the Most High God who is coming through in this message, delivering this message, stating that you don't have to listen to someone else who says they walk with me critique you, because if they truly walked with me, they would not critique you. They would know that each and every person's journey with me is different, right? So they should know better than to criticize how your journey is going. It says this is not selfish or a personal motive or intention. That is wrong. For that to come out tells me that the person who God is addressing was defending their walk, their spiritual walk, to someone who was telling them that maybe there were motives and intentions behind what they were doing, and it wasn't real. Okay. Says what you were made to feel was their cult of insecurity. Now, cult of insecurity tells me that this person grew up in the church their entire life. This person could have been claiming or saying the word spirituality, but in reality, this person's mind is still based and rooted in religion, and the way religion walks their line, right? And has no idea how to free themselves from the root that they're in with religion and go to the other side where spirituality is at. Okay. They're very similar, but not. There's major differences between religion and spirituality. So this person could strongly believe that every word in the Bible is specifically from God Himself. Spirituality does not go off of just the book, right? Spirituality would go off of, if they did read the book, some of what they've obtained from that book, some of their experiences, some of the research, and then, of course, their own personal relationship So spirituality takes into account everything and then puts together what makes sense for them. Okay. The man that acts as an animal and this woman driver, the one who draws, will be told about this conversation. Be ready for this relationship to end. So, this person that had to defend their walk with God to the one that is rooted in spirituality is going to realize that the one rooted in spirituality is not coming around as much or at all. Reason being is because of the way that they talked to the person that had to defend their walk, and the things that were said to this person could have been detrimentally discouraging and possibly could have even made this person give up the entire process. They realize the strength you have in our relationship. I arrived during this conversation. She felt my touch when you were talking about having respect for all things, including asking a tree for permission. That's why you caught her question about if I see her. You read her correctly. Take a seat today and notice the link happening with concerns about the debt. A mother is going to be fingered on an accident that turned into a disaster. The people struck and their breath was altered, affecting their spirit. The last events you are going to be witnessing is also symbolizing the light's care and compassion for you. Initiation is already active to symbolize your devotion to the work, missions given to you, and Spirit is now acknowledging you to show respect and Spirit's dedication to you for your sacrifices, and this officially marks the end of your sacrifices. So that to me is saying this person is in an active initiation of being purified, being a part of the team. So to say, like this person is solidified. They're now trusted with being able to hold secrets of the universe, with being able to defend the Most High and the things that go on within this world and the universe. They have been tested and trialed and passed, right? And when they came to the crossroads, they did not falter or turn on the Most High. So now the Most High is turning around saying, the people that have done wrong by you, you're now going to get to see them get their karma full throttle. Like, because it's going to be back to back to back, and it's going to come fast, right? But at the same time, no one's going to be able to come close to try to sacrifice you or force you to sacrifice yourself or things in your life anymore. It says, you passed when you choose to do the work during the time you were requested to allow the water to be the leader over the river's path. So to me that says you were given, because rivers are really rocky and bumpy, right? There's not a smooth terrain on a river at all. And for you to allow the water to be the leader, so you're going to follow the water's flow, says that you allowed yourself to just go with the flow of things. You may have been scared, but you put that aside, right? You sucked it up, and you continued to keep moving forward, and you didn't allow it to destroy you or tear you apart. Why? Because you turned yourself in to an energy like water, where you can bend and fold and ripple and jump or whatever at times needed. It says you stayed in the state of surrender, vulnerability, and answered a calling to deepen your resilience on divine strength. So again, that goes back to being put through massive trials and tests to see how much of a warrior you are, how much of your faith and hope do you have. Is it going to dissipate when things get rough? Is the devil going to be able to entice you by saying, hey, you're going through a pretty shitty time, come this way, yeah. So it says you were able to control your speech to avoid your personal trouble and to bring forth goodness, speaking blessings instead of curses. You brought encouragement and wisdom rather than destruction. You continued to live out faith through your heart, soul, mind, and body. You also cleansed your physical home and your body of negative spirits, and you guard and protect your space now. It says you have been receiving the signs from a deceased loved one. The things you accomplished and worked on with courage are, and this is what was cool about the message, whoever came through, and like I said, it sounds like the Most High did, literally listed out what this person was tested on and passed. So it says, hold on. Okay, so shadow self was worked on and completed. This would be things that are the other half of you that you did not accept or did not want to acknowledge, that played a part in some of the things that have gone wrong in your life. So you acknowledge that, meaning you took responsibility for where you faltered, where you went wrong in situations, and you corrected it. Monitoring spirits, you could have had supernatural activity around you in order to see if you're going to be able to incorporate spiritual cleansing, or are you going to interact with it? Oh no, you're fine.
Yeah.
Or if you're gonna interrupt, you go ahead.
Dude, this motherfucker.
Just turn the light on. Just turn that big light on.
Mina, knock it off.
Mina, stop it.
Let them touch her real quick so that.
Mina.
Mina.
Okay, and so monitoring spirits can test you. They will watch you, and try to throw you off your path, and entice you to engage in the dark arts, as well as mess with your mental health. Okay, put you in a sense of loss of direction. Broken identity. So there were unseen forces that were trying to take your virtues and blessings. These could have been conjured up by actual people, or you could have just been somebody that is part of a bloodline that these things have been after for lifetimes, right? Also, you dealt with unresolved family issues that the rest of the family did not want to talk about or bring to the forefront. You had enemies using familiar faces, so you could have had many friends or family that cut you off, disappeared, and that is because they weren't solidified in their journey or their belief, and making it easier for these unseen forces to coerce or take over these people to treat you in a certain way, to isolate you. Authority over your life. You did not hand that over. You reclaimed it. Being forced to rely on unconventional and unholy sources, making an indication that the enemy is trying to buy your soul. So, and that's considered a spiritual entrapment. What it does is it puts you in a state of fear.
You guys want to do this?
While receiving the enemy's help, right? And this is to keep you. This is to keep you dependent and stuck in a lower level spiritual that generational.
You forgot your Coke.
So meaning by what? So when it says relying on unholy or unconventional sources, meaning you were in an environment that did not support your spiritual growth or your walk, right? And so you're having to be around things that are enticing or that are coercive or that would typically say that you owe them for the help, right? So you could have been somebody that made sure that no matter what it is you participated in, there was no debt there. You did not owe anything or have an outstanding balance with them to where they could use that in the spiritual realm against you. It says, because you have accomplished this, this is the reason why you are being initiated. You need to up your spiritual prayer, though, for more protection and to break the evil covenants and darkness around your life. So even though you're being initiated, you're going to encounter more spiritual or supernatural attacks or encounters, because they are aware that you are in this initiation process. There is a warning that says you have a female who brings pressure and questions your work/career options. Be very careful, because the pressure part could mean that she too is given an agenda or a mission to knock you off of this path, okay? So stay focused and don't lose the discernment, and stay in your faith and your belief and move slowly. Don't do anything without thought or question before you actually move. Okay, so I'm going to go on to the next one. This one, and I'm sorry if it's takes me a minute to read. I write these so fast that my handwriting is sloppy. So it says, very foolish, senseless, or strange. An organization set up to provide help and raise money for those in need, for focus their attention or mental effort on a particular objective or activity, have been evaluating how an illness is affecting a person's physical, emotional functioning. This can include sleep, work, and social interaction. So when it's saying illness, this could be like a mental illness, this could be a physical illness, this could be a disease. It could be anything, right? It says there is a relationship that suggests toxicity and highly dysfunctional dynamic. A person around this couple that is a trickster.
Yeah, come on.
That is a trickster spirit who is playing a part in helping another person hurt. So what that is saying is there is a couple, and then there's another person outside of this couple. This person outside the couple goes to each person in that relationship and says like, oh yeah, I got your back, don't worry about it. And then goes to the other one that says the same thing. And in that midst, conversations happen, yada, yada, yada. Things are said, and then before you know it, they're both going back to each other, and they're in a mindset that is not a unity mindset, that is not a we're a team mindset. They're in a mindset of, that's not my partner, that's my enemy. Okay, so it says this couple under pressure to be perfect, trying to meet expectations while being overwhelmed by fear and judgment. The house holds high emotional, mental, or physical tension. Due to the prolonged pressure, residents are experiencing consistent fight or flight mode. It says these people are intense and over the top and act in chaotic ways. It says people of this house often have to leave in order to get a break from the intensity, and when they get into their car are prolonged to accidents due to fatigue. So be careful driving with anyone that is from this housing environment. There is a human capacity that is being reached. This is to lead to renewal of energy. So what that means is this house has reached its capacity of residence. And because of that, everybody that is in this house and going through this toxicity and this pressure is they're like a boiling pot, right? It's gonna blow, and when it blows, everybody in the house is going to be affected, but only those who are truly not doing harm to others or malicious intent or whatnot are going to be the ones that survive the steam blowing the roof off. Okay. It says there was a written contract where a person exchanges their soul for power, wealth, and knowledge. So somebody in that house is working with an organization and signed an actual written contract. It says divine has the ultimate authority to make the final decision and often the last word over all matters. So even though they signed with this specific person that is engaging in these dark arts and they're under the impression they're going to get rewarded this, at the end of the day, if divine feels that this person truly should not gain what they were promised, they won't. Then it says someone has been making music that expresses mental health dysfunction and social belonging. The person who makes music in the home is being directed to do feng shui to activate specific areas in the home to attract abundance. This person maintains a lifestyle of daily gratitude rather than reserving appreciation for holidays. Be careful because the relationships in the house are built on small, daily, meaningless interactions. Someone in this house wishes you would talk to them more. Some in the house are using the government officials to touch on a weakness of others in the home. Warning, be careful and avoid altercations because they want others to assist in touching you. The goal is to get one particular person to walk away from the other. So, when it says that government officials is being used as a weakness, that could mean maybe somebody's being threatened that something they're doing will be reported, or for a similar incident that I would be aware of.
I say what? Kelly's about to get happy.
What I would be familiar with is like if somebody has a restraining order and they're still in the house, but you know. So just be aware that the goal is to act
number is
on one another.
564.
Okay. Okay, so out of those 2 messages, congrats to the person that is in their initiation process finally after what could be tests, years worth of tests. And also make sure that you don't forget to remain focused, because it does appear that the house is also a test for you. Okay, don't forget to go back and watch the very first video, and also show some love and hit like, share, and subscribe.